Alright, so today we're going to make my Grandma Val's coleslaw. I grew up with her making this recipe for us very often. It was mostly showed up during the summer, but she made it at all times. I'm still not sure exactly where she got the recipe from. She may have clipped it from a newspaper, or it may have sort of trickled down from her Polish-born mother, my great-grandma Kate, who most definitely cooked with cabbage. So I'm going to demonstrate making it here. I have her handwritten recipe right here. It uses one large grated carrot, a whole cabbage that will be shredded, a half a cup of vinegar, 3 teaspoons of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 2 teaspoons of garlic salt, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. I put all of the dry powdered ingredients into the vinegar, which I have in a measuring cup, and just get those dissolved or liquefied. It's mostly so that the sugar will dissolve, and I just give that a whisk. That'll end up getting poured over the coleslaw. So I have the carrot shredded, as you see. I just used a box grater to grate it. The cabbage, I just buy a regular green cabbage. I cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut through the core right here. So I cut it into quarters. Some of the leaves fall off so you can see the quarter. And then to cut the core out, I find it easiest to put my knife through it just like that. And you can see that the core has come out. So I do that with all 4 quarters. Just going to do this so you guys can see it. Alright, so now I'm going to shred the cabbage, and to do that, I just get it as thin as I possibly can. A long time ago, in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and also in parts of Europe and many other parts of the United States, there were actually people that went around to people's homes and shredded their cabbage for them with this device that was made of wood and had like razor sharp knives sort of embedded into it. And these people go around and shred people's massive quantities of cabbage to make things like sauerkraut. And I am not sure if my great-grandmother had one of these contraptions, but I am going to find one online and order one for my dad because he has requested one. So I'm just going to get each quarter into my mixing bowl. And my dad grew up eating a lot of Polish food from his Polish grandmother. She often made golumkis, which were the stuffed cabbage, stuffed with like a pork and rice mixture. And she also made kapusta, which is a soup that's kind of made from cabbage and sauerkraut and different vegetables and a little bit of meat that's shredded up in it. So I grew up with lots of stories of traditional Polish food cooked by my great-grandmother, which I never tasted, unfortunately. So now I'm trying to recreate a lot of my dad's taste memories with my own cooking. So I just shred all 4 of these. I don't do this in the food processor because it'll make the cabbage too watery. It'll end up releasing too much water, and you don't want that. The other thing that I always hated about lots of other packaged coleslaw, or what you buy from the deli, is that it has too much mayonnaise in it. That's one reason why I hate potato salad as well, and always preferred a mustard-based one that my mom made that was more rooted in her German background. So we're going to get the last quarter. You don't have to worry about this being too fine. You could also buy the pre-shredded cabbage if you don't want to shred it yourself. If it seems too thick, you can also pull out part of it, keep it stacked, and it'll just make it so that you have fewer layers to cut through. That can help also. And just take care not to cut your fingers. Keep your fingers rolled under. And then this is the last quarter. And that all goes into the bowl. Make sure you're using a glass or a ceramic bowl or a stainless steel bowl. If you use an aluminum bowl, the white vinegar reacts with aluminum and will end up making your coleslaw taste like aluminum, which is not very pleasant. So we just get that in there. Just take a spoon and mix that up to get the carrot and the cabbage combined. And then I'm just going to pour that mixture over that had the garlic powder and the vinegar and the garlic salt, pepper, and the sugar all dissolved in the white vinegar. That goes in. And then my grandmother, as I said before, always did this with very little mayonnaise. So I have a safflower oil-based mayonnaise. Most mayonnaise is made from soybean oil, which I'm not a huge fan of. You can use whatever type of mayonnaise you like best. Home making it is nice too. So I'm going to just start with probably 2 spoonfuls and stir that through. You can always add more, but you can't take out any. You could also put gloves on your hands and mix this with your hands. This will stay in the fridge for a couple of days, no problem. You could also do this with red cabbage or add red cabbage to it. You could add other vegetables to it if you'd like. And it gets better as it sits. And as my grandmother got older, she used to buy the pre-shredded cabbage for this as well. My dad always used to add extra pepper to it, so I will probably do that also. All right, so let's give it a taste. If I can reach a spoon. So that was definitely enough mayonnaise, to my taste. Delicious, and will get better as it sits for longer. So that is our finished product.